Did you know that anesthesia doesn't actually put you to sleep? In a matter of fact, it puts you into a coma. So I basically put people in comas for a living. I chose anesthesiologists because they are found around the world in dental offices, surgery centers, and research facilities. What anesthesiologists do. Anesthesiologists are physicians who specialize in anesthesiology. During surgery, they give anesthesia to make patients fall asleep. But they do more than just anesthesia. They also give painkillers and numbing medicine. They basically try to make the patient as comfortable as possible. This career will always be needed as long as there are people on Earth, so it's a very desirable job. My three career choices were anesthesiologist, nurse anesthetist, and pilot. I chose anesthesiologist because it involves helping people. I gave up nurse anesthetist because I think it would be hard to research. And I gave up pilot because I thought it would be a lot of pressure. Opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the thing lost when picking something else. My opportunity cost for picking anesthesiologist was nurse anesthetist. Since I picked anesthesiologist, this meant that I needed more schooling and I had higher responsibility, but I did get paid a lot better. Positive and negative incentives. My three positive incentives were that I get to work with people, I have free health insurance, and it pays well. My three negative incentives are that I have to go to 15 years of college, I'm on call all the time, and I have malpractice insurance. This is my budget spreadsheet. My salary is $150,000 a year, or $12,500 a month. My apartment cost $325 because I split it with James. My transportation was about $2,440. Utilities is only $210. My most expensive were taxes at $4,360. Food was $250. Medical insurance was $350. And college cost $570 a month for school loans. Toiletries was about $30. And finally, discretionary was $3,956. When estimating costs, I was way off on many values. I thought taxes would only be $100 when it turned out to be about 40 times that. Again, I was way off when estimating housing. I thought it would only be $6 when it turned out to be $315. This is my pie graph. The largest is taxes, which is a payment to the government at 35% of my monthly budget. Discretionary is next at 32%. Discretionary is all the things that you want but don't need. Then, since I bought an expensive car, my transportation is 20%. Going to college costs me a lot of money, so that takes up 5%. Medical and housing tie at 3%. Next is utilities and food coming in at around 2%. And finally, toiletries were 0.2%. Trade-offs. Trade-offs are things that you give up to get more of something else. Here's some of them. I gave up becoming a nurse anesthetist to becoming an anesthesiologist. I also gave up pets to put more money in savings. And I gave up many years of my life towards 15 years of college. Resume. A resume is something that you send in to future employers. On mine, I included that I went to college at KU to receive my bachelor's and medical degrees. I also put down that I achieved Eagle Scout at age 14. Some skills I included were patience, organization, and critical thinker. My references were Mr. Woodward and Mr. Lafferty. Letter of application. I applied to the head of Newton Medical Center about the anesthesiologist opening. Wrote down some experiences and skills that I learned from shadowing doctors, and I applied at Newton Medical Center because it was close to my home and I wouldn't have to drive far. Websites. These are my websites. hss.edu talked about general information on my career. Anesthesiazone.com was about the education needed for my career. medicalnewstoday.com, steady.com, and asahq.org showed me my daily activities in my profession. These are my two articles. The first article talks about what anesthesiologists do, and the skills needed, and other general information. And the second article is about working in anesthesiology and the education needed. Back to the beginning of my story, studies have shown that the brain is less active under anesthesia than if you're sleeping. So therefore, anesthesia does put you into a coma. In conclusion, I chose this career because it involves helping people and it will always be around.